difficult to get set up. All right, let's dive into some matches here. We got a few people in here. We'll build up some more as we go. That would be awesome, Bob. I would appreciate it. Discord DM would be great. All right, anywho, we have Yarok, the Desecrated here. This is kind of a fair Field of the Dead deck, so unlike a lot of the Field of the Dead decks running around Standard, this is not playing Scapeshift, notably. So we've got this, along with just ramp spells like Cavalier, Elvish, Grazer, Spiral, Reef, and then Yarok to double trigger a bunch of these effects, including Field of the Dead. The cards people often ask about is, why do we have this one of Nexus of Fate? And the answer to that is, with Yarok and Cavalier of Thorns milling you 10 cards, sometimes even more than that if you have a Risen Reef in play, we can get in danger of decking while we have enough zombies in play to kill the opponent. So this Nexus of Fate in our deck ensures that our deck never runs out because it keeps getting shuffled back in. So this is kind of decking insurance for the mid-range and control matchups, and against aggro decks you board this out because you're not going to run into the risk of decking in the aggro matchups. So let's go ahead and dive on into a few matches. It's currently my favorite competitive deck in the format. There's a lot of sweet competitive decks in this format, but this is the one that's at the top for me personally. Excited working and tuning on this some more. Don Rockiaro, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. Happy Friday. Welcome to the weekend. Yeah, Jace was kind of mediocre. The problem is you just like mill past Jace a lot of the time and he just doesn't do anything. Yeah, taking an extra turn every once in a while is just game winning. And like our deck's a ramp deck at its core. So like you can often like, you know, Nexus as early as turn 5. Ooh, they added a icon here to mouse over to see what the remaining time is for players. That's good, makes the interface more clear. Previously you'd mouse over the hourglass, but it wasn't clear that that was there and something you could do. Cole Buck, thanks for the 7 months. Looking forward to Gen Con, and Jeff graciously agreed to sign some cards. Definitely, Cole Buck. Yeah, anybody who's going to be at Gen Con next weekend, get into the subs Discord and we can coordinate meeting up at some point. I'll be around pretty much all weekend. I plan to get in Wednesday night, and then I'm going to be staying through Sunday afternoon. You are a little late to the party, Mr. Grazer. You are a little late to the party. Looks like it's a Field of the Dead mirror. There's been a lot of Bant Scapeshift running around recently. I already have triple green. I don't currently have a Field of the Dead, so let's grab one of those. And go ahead and play Cavalier next turn. You think it's stronger without shift or just more fair / fun? We started with 2 copies of Scapeshift in this deck, and they did not feel necessary or important. So I cut Scapeshift. This is currently what I think to be a reasonably optimal build. So I could grab another Field of the Dead, but that means it's going to take me longer to actually start activating it. So I think I actually want to take a Temple of Mystery here. This is land number 6. That's a unique type here. So next turn, this Arch of Orazca will start triggering. Also get to scry a little bit too. Yeah, I agree, Marty. I think the game 1's only tough against the Bant Scapeshift if they have a fast Scapeshift. Like, if they have a turn like 5-6 Scapeshift, you usually can't recover. But if their Scapeshift comes like any turn after that, usually you have no problem.
Sorry, I'm late.
We're bouncing my Cavalier? Yes, deal. Resolves. Are you going to trade your Risen Reef to keep your Teferi alive is the question. Looks like it. Alright, so I'm going to lead on Cavalier of Thorns here, because if this hits a second Field of the Dead, I want to start making 2 zombies per. I'm going to grab Field of Rune here, because I probably want to start, want to kill their field. And then I actually get to go ahead and do this and field them off of this. And then I can get a basic forest and cast Arboreal Grazer. And then Arboreal Grazer the Memorial of the Genius into play here. So thanks for putting the Cavalier of Thorns back in my hand. Attack first. Why? Yeah, the full arts look great. Not necessarily. If I fled out a little bit from here, and my opponent like has some ramp spells into escape shift, we could be in trouble. But if I draw a reasonable number of spells from here, I think we're going to be a pretty strong favorite. Okay, what are they casting that I care about, Zuzzy? Give me something meaningful that they could realistically be playing to care about. I understand that you're like technically correct, but like in an actual reality situation, it just doesn't matter. They have, like, exactly Growth Spiral. Yeah, they have, like, exactly Growth Spiral, and they didn't have enough lands to trigger Field of the Dead, so it just didn't matter. Now they have enough lands to trigger Field of the Dead. Yeah, I have Memorial and Dark, which is very true. Alright, so we're gonna do this to start, I think. Yep. Wow, woof. So let's kill their Teferi so they can't instant speed scape shift us. That takes a little surprise out of the things. So we send 4 things at their Teferi because they can only block 3 of them, so their Teferi's guaranteed dead. I have 5 lands. I've already played my land for the turn, and I have 5 lands available, so we're just going to pass holding Arc up. I guess I could also just crack Memorial here. Yeah, maybe I want to crack Memorial, actually. You have to click the number in the corner here, and it'll select all of them. We could see escape shift for a lot of zombies here, which we might be able to fight through if we find like a Yarok next turn. Find a Yarok and some lands, we could be okay. Yarok plus another Field of Dead, for instance. Yeah, smells like escape shift, sure. So they're gonna get to make a lot of zomboys and girls. Yeah, same for blocking armies. So, like, if I have 20 zombies, and I click the 20 and they're attacking with 20 zombies, I click the 20, click on their zombies, it blocks them all 1-to-1. So, I think they have enough lands to get a 3rd field here. Let's find out. And count how many they sacrificed. Yeah, they're getting a lot of friends here. So, like I said, if they have a quick-ish escape shift, so, like, this is escape shift while they were in... I wish I had a turn counter on the screen. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're getting 14 zombies here, which puts them up to 17. I think Crafty Cutburst is way too narrow. I think I have 4 copies of Unmoored Ego for this matchup, and that's plenty fine. I think playing more than 4 copies of Unmoored Ego is unnecessary. They could have another ramp spell here, too, to generate some more zombies. Are we currently dead on boards? They have 17 attackers. I have 5, 6, 7, 8 blockers. Yeah, feels like we're okay here. I have 8, so I'm taking 18. Yeah, I'm not currently dead on board, and I'm going to get to make some more friends here. I probably want to trophy their Field of the Dead, huh? Our field's gonna make 2 zombies, and then our growth spiral's gonna make 2 zombies. Let's just do this now so I can see what I draw. And a Cavalier, which will make some zombies. Yeah, the full art basics look good. So now I've got 11 and they've got 17, and I didn't even have to cast Escape Shift to get my zombies, and I don't even have a Yarok in play. Like, if I had a Yarok out while we were doing this, we'd have even more. So do I want to trophy a Field of the Dead here in response to this? I think I do. I think I want to keep them. I think I want to keep them for making more stuff here. The Karn and the Stoneforgers, they get a lot of mileage during official modern stuff. So this gives them a free roll zombie here, but it's going to deny them future zombies. It's going to deny them a zombie on all their future hits, so that's nice. All right, they found a third field. And then I think we're a little bit ahead right now because we have these 5/6s. I also have an arc that lets me draw 2 cards per turn. And if they like crank this up to be able to kill these, that gives them like a good attack for 1 turn, but then I immediately get to like flip some of these things back on top of my deck, right? Like I get to like put Risen Reef and Cavalier back on top of my deck and go like Reef into whatever. Yeah, that's the 4th field. So they only have 2 fields. Those are the only fields they have left. Because you're right, we did Field of Ruin, the other one earlier. Howdy, Ninja Dave. So if they want to attack with everything, they don't get through that much damage, and they trade off a good part of their board. So I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm pretty okay with these blocks. So we go boop. Well, that didn't work out. How does this work? Oh, do I gotta click the number to the number? It's number to number, right? Number to number. Yeah, that's how it does. So number to number. I think I can do this and then click on the number. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. All right, so this attack is trading off the zombies. I probably want to keep this 1/1 around, actually, huh? Probably want to keep the 1/1 around. I'm taking 6 here. I mean, to be fair, the way that like the group blocking worked out there, that would probably be pretty mobile friendly, right? Like it's a little bit difficult to see like what's where. But as far as, like, looking at what's actually, like, seeing what's going on is a little bit cluttered, but, like, as far as, like, mechanically doing it, it wasn't that bad. That is why we drew before we played our land for the turn. Found a piece of candy. And they don't have enough mana to crank their blast down to 5 this turn. They only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they need 8 to crank this to 5 this turn. The Burper! Thank you for the 12 months of support. I appreciate that. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, and Yarok has lifelink. Deckmaster isn't working. Let me reconnect it. Oh, I know why it's not working. All right, I'm gonna have to fix it after this game. I will fix Deckmaster. I will fix Deckmaster after this game. Weird burper. Yeah, Twitch has been like a hot mess since they changed how it publishes the stuff. I have to create a sim link so the Deckmaster works. So I had to finagle getting Arena reinstalled. Hey, Seth. Like Neoform treats me all in Columbus. Go get them. Run hot. Yeah, they've got a lot of power, but again, no profitable attacks. And they're at 1 card, and they don't have a sustained source of card advantage. So not only do I have these in play, but I've got this Arch of Orazca here, which is going to help us go to work. Now, they are going to be able to clear out my 5-drops next turn, which is relevant. But again, they only get one really good turn with that because the Cavalier of Thorns are going to put goodies back on top of my deck. So before I draw with this Arc, we'll drop this Temple into play so I get to scry one twice. And is that better than my average draw? It's probably 4 more zombies, right? So I think that's fine. I think that's fine. So I only have 8 zombies at the moment, and they have 13. Bad whammer jammer. Oh, yeah, double triggers too because of Yarok. Yeah, it might be 8 zombies. Thank you for the half a year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Yeah, I forgot this is about to get 2 triggers. Yep. Oh, Temple of Malady. And basically we're scrying unless we're putting anything on the bottom that's not a land here because we're about to get a trigger again. So I'm just gonna leave the Wooded Cemetery on top of the deck just so I have a guaranteed hit. That's better than missing. Scooter! Coming in hot for the 16th month. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope your Friday and your summer are treating you well. And now we can bottom these, because these will be what we're drawing next turn. Mastar, thank you for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Doling out some sub-gifties. Happy Friday, Scooter. How many of our fields have been destroyed or milled? I think there's 1 or 2 in my bin from being milled, if I recall correctly. There's one in my bin from being milled. So there is a 4th field in my deck still. Yeah, I agree. I feel like this deck lines up really well against the Bandscape Shift deck. Yeah, you have to pick an avatar. You have to pick an avatar now. You can't just choose it to random. Should we attack with our Cavaliers since they're going to eat it anyways? Nah, I think I want to force them to pop it. Is Tamiyo the pick when the Cavaliers go to the bin? Yeah, probably. I don't know. I could also just get, like, Risen Reef Yarok and, like, stack it. So the first... So this is the trigger that's going on the stack first, right? So this will be the second card. So what do I want to get here? I think I want to put Risen Reef on top of my deck. So I think I'm going to put Yarok up, and then I'm going to put Risen Reef on top of it. Oh, I did that backwards. Right, the bottom resolves second. It's fine. I have an arc. Nah, it's not weird. I just didn't think about the stack correctly. Sure, you have escape shift. How many more lands are in your deck, opponent? Figure it out. They did finally add foil basics, yep. I think I have enough lands to activate this, cast Yarok, cast whatever. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, and it's 6, 5, and 3. How many more cards are in their deck? 28. They changed the deck sizes again, so the decks look much smaller on the screen than they actually are. So here's an interesting visual bug. Their deck has 28 cards in it. Their graveyard has 22, but the graveyard, so their deck and the graveyard are the exact same size right now, but look how differently sized they look on the overlay, on the screen. So this is 23 cards, this is 23 cards in it. But like this looks like 2 or 3 times the size of this, right? Alright, so they have 25 zombies. I have 16. They have no good attacks. I have a Yarok and a thing on top of my deck. Alright, so I would like to pass to blockers. These block here. This blocks here. This eats here. This is a I concede I'm losing attack, it feels like. Man, they used to block so the streams didn't cross, but maybe there's just too many streams and they have to cross here. It used to make sense when they moved around, because they moved around in a way that streams never crossed. Yeah, don't cross streams, chat. Oh, look, a third Field of the Dead. I should have left up a blue mana here, technically. That's fine. And remember, my opponent resolved 2 copies of Scapeshift this game, and we're currently out zombieing them. They also just scryed a card to the top of their deck here, though, too. So maybe that's gonna get us. Nope. Scryed to the top, untap, concede. And then post board, we get to board in 4 copies of Unmoored Ego. Good luck. Good luck, Godspeed. Good luck, Godspeed. 4 copies of Ego. Let's go. How's the client performance been for people since the patch yesterday? The interface feels kind of laggy while I'm doing stuff. You definitely name Field, because they can just naturally trigger Field. You name Field first, and then usually Mass Manipulation or Crisis, depending on if they have Mass Manipulation. It feels like we regressed to 2 patches ago, where it was really kind of laggy. Every update brings us a little bit closer to Magic Online. Little bit closer. They concede to the first Ego, maybe. All right, I have a Symlink here command somewhere in my backlog. I'm gonna keep this on the draw. If I hit a blue source, it's great. If I hit any source, I can cast this. I have a trophy. That seems fine. I will be back to my normal responsive self in just a minute. Currently trying to fix the what's it called? Double Field kind of sucks. It means triggering Field naturally is going to be a little bit harder here. Dismal Backwater is not a terrible hit. Unlocks our blue mana. Sultai Valakut. That's basically what this deck is. Primeval Titan in October. Listen, trust me, when I say you really don't want Primeval Titan in this format. You really don't want Primeval Titan in this format. Alright, so what are we doing here? Probably just Yarok. We could get, like, Disdainful Stroked here. Alright. Don't fear the Reefer, chat. Lead on this. I guess Temple lets me scry into possible lands here. Yeah, I guess I'm cool with another Field of the Dead. It's not going to trigger these fields I already have in play, but we get to put it out. Print Wasteland, you cowards. I already played a land for the turn, so let's just put that into play. They even stole one of our fields, and we're kind of doing okay here. Hey, thanks for the 20 months, Demir Spy. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. I couldn't cast Ego, otherwise we're gonna get there. Oh, you're saying we're playing on more Ego? Yeah. Yeah, this format's basically Modern, Bob. So cards that are good in Modern are no longer good here. Why didn't I attack with Yarok? I'm doing like 4 things and didn't calculate that it was a free attack. So an attack for 3 is not gonna decide this game. It's mostly irrelevant. Usually you win by miles in this matchup. It's not a matchup that's about edges, it's about miles. Hey, Bob, thank you for the happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Do-do, do-do, do-do. How does this work? Let's find out. Alright, just 6 of them apparently. Hey, Sparkles, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Need some all-foil aristocrats. Sounds good. Let's do the Cavalier of Thorns triggers first here. Whee! I mean, if we get time wiped, we just do it again, right? Who needs escape shift, chat? Yeah, there's a Nexus for, we have 17 cards left in our deck, and there's a Nexus for situations just like this so we don't deck out. It is literally a value Nexus. Opponent does not have a sweeper in his head enough. There's a lot of zomboys and girls. I think this deck has a good matchup against the... I think this deck has a pretty good matchup against that nonsense. All right. Need to hold on for 2 seconds if I can, and see if I can sort the issue with Deckmaster really quick. I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on it. If it doesn't work, we'll worry about it later and just do without today. Did the location of my output log change? So the previous location of the output log doesn't look like it exists anymore. Which explains why my tool they completely changed how the output log reads and writes. Does that mean there's a new version of Deckmaster? Does Deckmaster work on other people's? I mean, I'm gonna have to recompile this thing. Hey, thanks, Godo. Sorry for people that are subbing and I'm missing. I'm trying to see. I'm probably gonna have to just sort this later. No, it doesn't look like Fuji published a new release. Weird. Okay, it looks like they changed a bunch of stuff, and I'm not gonna have time to sort it out today, so we're just gonna have to do without Deckmaster. Does anybody know, are other people playing with Deckmaster? Is it all third-party updates will need updates due to this change? All right, I'm not gonna worry about it then. Glad it's not a me problem. Look at how beautiful this hand is. It's a little slow, but we're on the play, so I think it's fine. Yarok's pretty good at helping us stabilize against aggro too. Amy seems to be working. Okay. It's good to know. I appreciate the info. Yeah, Arboreal Grazer. Arboreal Grazer is so sweet. He, like, helps us play on curve in our deck. So I'm avoiding playing Temple of Mystery for now. Because, ideally, this gives me the chance to play different lands every turn and maybe trigger this on my 7th land. I don't have a breeding pool yet, huh? I'm gonna bottom that. Let's just try and draw some spells here. This is gonna trigger twice next turn, so that seems fine. Rude. Smells like It could be vampires. I think they're more likely to be Esper missing blue mana than vampires, if that makes sense. So, I know this makes me further off from triggering these things. And maybe I should have Yarok'd first there. Yeah, I probably should have Yarok'd before this, huh? Am I just gonna get Kaya's Wrath here anyways? Playing this first is better against Kaya's Wrath. It's marginally worse against Cast Down, though. Make a note now to fix Deckmaster after. Try to fix Deckmaster. Noted. All right, we found a blue source. Confirmed Esper. Wouldn't be super surprised to see this just get tucked in. Yeah. Not having any power in play. Feels real bad. It's a pretty good draw, though. We're gonna cycle this growth spiral here at end of turn, most likely. Yep. Man, that feels bad. I didn't know there was a reef on top of my deck. Boneless, I don't believe. Wow, they took my growth spiral? Really? That seems weird. Oh, I put it there. Maybe? I don't remember, honestly. Yeah, do I want to play the Thorns? Yeah, they could have some kind of counterspell here. I'm gonna lead on this.
Hold that thought.
Yeah, I agree, 30. It's got a lot of good stuff going on. The Kaya's Wrath me, I'm a little sad, but if I have this out and I get to play this, we're gonna be pretty far ahead. If we can just get to a point where, that's so brutal. If we can just get to a point where we're triggering these Field of the Deads, we probably win the game. Alright, I mean, feels like we're ahead here, right? It's the first time this deck's playing its Esper? No, I think it's Esper once or twice before and won every time. Esper has a hard time beating a bunch of copies of Field of the Dead. He says his opponent goes way over the top when they command the Dread Horde. That's probably the game. Yeah, I think we're gonna pack this one in. And part of the issue with this was they had a little bit too much disruption for us. We drew too many of the same lands with the same names, and most importantly, we drew a bunch of copies of things that we just sideboard out, right? Like we drew a Disfigure and 2 Arboreal Grazers, which are like easily our 6 worst cards in our main deck, and we drew half of our cards that just aren't good in the matchup. So hitting a bunch of cards that we otherwise don't want to see didn't help there. Normally we can pressure their health total a little bit more, making Command the Dread Horde less valuable. Also, it happened to line up that, like, they drew Thought Erasures. I think I actually want the Spiral, and I, like, don't want a Noxious Grasp. Maybe don't want a Ceratops. I think I don't want a Ceratops. Maybe I'm supposed to keep the Ceratopses, because they're going to Unmoored Ego me post-board. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to keep the Ceratopsis as a hedge against Unmortigo. That's probably the case. Another part of what went wrong there is they had Cavalier in my bin from Thought Erasing it, and often Cavalier's not going to be in my bin because it gets exiled when it dies on its trigger. So a few different things that didn't break our way there. That's fine. That's why we get to play best of 3, right? This hand's got a little bit of YOLO in it, but if we hit any land, we can Rejuvenator, and if we hit a blue source, the hand's quite good, so let's give it a try. The worst part is I can't even put this one in my autobiography 26 lands later, because this deck has, what, 29 lands in it? There are 29 lands in our deck right now. Magic's a game that just really sucks sometimes. This is games like this are why I gave up playing Magic in a semi-competitive manner. Because, like, you gotta understand that, like, the games like this are just gonna happen. They're just way outside of your control. Magic's way more fun when you don't care about the results. So you just, like, shrug off games like this is no big deal. Hey, E-Dubs, thanks for the half a year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Oh, I should have gotten Hinterland Harbor, right? Because I was missing a green source. Yeah. So I have Cavalier. Yeah, I should have gotten Harbor. I think I'm gonna lead on Reef here. Yeah, we might even be a little bit ahead now. I kind of agree with that as a spit. Depending on what their hand looks like. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I had a what's it called? If I had triple green, I think we would definitely be ahead.
Right on schedule. That's more like it. It's only a matter of time.
Black Red Aristocrats was a cut the line deck, so it's not currently listed in the deck queue. It is, however, one of the many wonderful decks you can find on my website. So if you go to magicesports.net, you'll be able to click standard decks at the top and find a deck list there.
Interesting technique.
So when someone cuts in something, I don't add it.
Prepare.
Just add it to the stream title.
Keep up the pace.
Alright, so now the question becomes, do I go double Reefer or do I just try and play this next turn? I probably want to double Reefer, huh? Let's start by attacking Teferi and see where we go from there. Yeah, if you cut Footlight Fiends, Black Red Aristocrats can be 100% foil, which is kind of hot. So, I'm gonna trophy this Teferi on their upkeep. And the reason why we're doing it on the upkeep, or now in response to this way they don't have an option to counterspell. So, you've killed my Reefer, but I'm gonna get to go ahead and do this. Like, my hand's got a lot of value left in it here. Good, clean live-in. Next turn might even be Tamiyo, pick Reefer, back up, play Reefer. The problem with these full art lands is they really don't look different from...
This isn't a fight you can win.
They really don't look different from the basics, right? Are we dead? We might be dead. And this is what kind of burnt me on Standard at the end of last season, which was that, like, this is, yeah, I agree, Marty. And, like, maybe I'm supposed to bring in Unmortigo to name Command the Dread Horde, because it's their only card I care about. It's very possible. It's very possible that that's the truth. I actually don't have triple green, so Ceratops doesn't kill them. There's also the very real possibility that, like, they don't have a way to actually kill us from here. Oh, we're getting draw step thought erasured. Yay, magic. Yay. Magic is exciting. Yeah. Swings bigger than Giants Playground. Yep. Yeah, the mid-range and control games in this format have felt really bad last season. It looks like they're going to continue to feel bad this season. I mean, is it that interesting? Like, these cards drew them 9 cards. They have this is gonna draw them a card next turn. Like, what does that actually accomplish? I think the line here is pick Noxious Grasp, back up, Noxious Grasp, they're 5 mana Teferi, play a tap land pass. We do have a basic forest. We have one of each basic. I don't think that's in the bin. Yeah, no basics in the bin.
Don't worry, I got this.
I need to draw step thought erasure again. Smells like it.
Practiced against men. I have just the trick for this.
Tamiyo's dying. They have 3/1/1s. Tamiyo's dead.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
I will not stand for such violence.
Anybody else find it interesting that they give us the standards healthy, no changes line, and then they give us standards healthy, no changes, and then there's no standard Mythic Championship for this format, and they don't have coverage at the standard Grand Prix? Anybody else find that funny? Maybe my tinfoil hat's just strapped on too tightly. Maybe my tinfoil hat's just strapped on too tightly. Am I playing a 5-drop or am I just activating Blast Zone? I think I'm just activating Blast Zone.
Hone your prowess.
I mean, what does Command the Dread Horde solve? What problem do we have that's being fixed by Command the Dread Horde? You want to just try and draw... You want to put, like, one Command the Dread Horde in my deck and then try and draw it before they draw theirs? That's the line? I don't know if that seems very profitable. I feel like if I need Command the Dread Horde to win this matchup, my deck's probably just unplayable and I should throw it in a garbage can. Because if we're not good here, we should just be playing Esper. That's kind of what it feels like. There's 24 cards in their deck. Yeah, I think that's likely the case, Conqueror. Morning, dude light. It is afternoon. We started late. It feels weird. Oh, you know what? I should have left up Field of Rune. Field of Rune could have killed this Search for Azcanta this turn. Small miss on mana efficiency there. Weird. They had a draw step erasure and just elected not to use it. I suppose even after their Command the Dreadhorde drew 12 cards, we're still kind of at parity here, huh? If I'd have drawn a Field of the Dead this game in the top third of our deck, we probably would be ahead even, right? There's like hasn't been a Field of Dead in 20 plus cards because we've like bottomed cards too.
Responsibility. Trust me, I have a plan.
Nexus of Fate is the best cantrip, right? I mean, that's basically what it is, right? Like free untap my lands, draw a card. Actually, I want a Rejuvenator before I field, because I could find a Field of the Dead, and then my Field of Rune will trigger Field of the Dead. They're not at 19 cards in their deck, so like if I can keep their Tefris from ulting, we're in an okay spot. Command the Dreadhorde's like annoying, but like they're also at 6, so it's like 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Yeah, there's a Field of Dead. Trigger. We're gonna activate this now, so that way they can't use their Azcanta again. Like from an emotional perspective, I would describe this game as very taxing, but from like where we're at in the actual game, like we're kind of still in it, right? He says his opponent casts an instant speed Kaya Wrath at the end of his turn. The borderless basics do look good. The borderless basics do look good. Oh, they just get to double lightning helix me with their cantrip helix and then command the Dreadhorde from 12. Okay. Okay. The flowchart Ken, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. See, I thought I was going to play this deck at the Mythic Championship qualifier next month. Probably not. Grinding through these games is kind of not fun. Probably just going to play Black Red Aristocrats or Naya Feather.
Only time will tell.
Still have much to learn.
You are removed from time itself.
Ceratops would have been lethal there. I don't know, the Sultai Flash deck is fine. I don't find Esper Dreadhorde fun to play. I find it kind of tedious and slow and a slug. No. I don't care enough about winning to just, like, play the stock best deck because it gives me the best chance to win. I'm just gonna play an aggro deck that I kind of like playing so I have fun while I play it. It'll be over quickly one way or another. None of the prizes Magic pays out are good enough to play decks that you don't enjoy playing in Magic tournaments. Maybe Ego would have been good. I mean, like, if I specifically draw Ego in the small window before they cast Command the Dreadhorde, and they don't Thought Erasure me, and they don't have Veto for my Ego, and, like, the stars align and everything else goes fine because Esper has perfect answers no matter what they're playing against. Like, if you're just incredibly lucky, everything will be fine. Hey, Thick Mom Swag, thank you for the 11 months support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And then this is incredibly unfortunate here. We're playing against Esper again, and this is one of the tough parts, is like we talked about in the last match. Disfigure is one of our 6 cards that basically don't have text game 1 in this matchup. And again, we've drawn 2 of those 6 cards just in our first 10 cards. Again, just incredible amounts of variance.
Meditate and prepare.
The best piece of advice I can give you is when Magic stops being fun, stop playing Magic or play Magic in a different way. So I'm just going to go ahead and concede and go to the post-board game here. I think we're pretty unlikely to win that game that we're playing. What's even good versus Esper? Being lucky is pretty good against Esper. Now, the Flash decks probably aren't good against the 4 Teferi deck that has Thought Erasure to clear the way for it. The Esper deck has a flexible answer package and powerful win conditions that when it's firing on all cylinders, it basically beats whatever it's playing against. This is pretty good. It's got a couple of different things to do. It's got all of our cards. It's got our destroy lands. After losing the Leyline battle once again. Yeah. Yeah, someone... The Mythic Championship this weekend just sounds really depressing. I saw a tweet that was like... Everybody here is kind of depressed. People are like, I'm playing Hagak because Wizards messed up Modern, and they also dismantled Pro Play, so that the results of this tournament don't even really matter to anyone, so who cares? Just like, it's so depressing. Oh. But in related news, Magic the Gathering, both paper and digital, Q2 2019 had their best quarter ever, so obviously dismantling Pro Play and disenfranchising those players didn't really have an impact on WotC's profit, so they're probably going to get the message loud and clear that they shouldn't care about that segment of players. Is probably the reality that we are moving into in the future. They are a for-profit company that's going to look at those metrics and go, oh, we dismantled this thing, and then we made a bunch of money, so that thing probably doesn't matter, so why should we care? This was exciting. I had 2 spells, and now I don't. It's a good time. It's a good time. Oh, they missed a land drop. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. Oh, dee 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 dee, bee dee 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 dee. I love it. I love it when a plan comes together. And they drew a command the Dread Horde. I could trophy their planes. Some of these decks have more than one planes. I don't think I want to trophy this. I think I just hang tight. 6 turns from casting it. Not really. They're only 6 turns from casting it if I never trophy them. Like, there's a good chance I'm going to have to trophy them in the next couple turns.
Hone your prowess.
Alright. Sometimes it's nice to be lucky. Oh, look! I gave them another Cavalier to get back with their Dread Horde eventually. It's exciting. They have 2 Cavaliers and a Risen Reef to get back with their Dread Horde.
Let's slow this down. Let's try this.
Yeah, I definitely want to smack their face. I want to make their Command the Dread Horde worse.
I'll protect you.
All right. Ceratops. Ceratops seems to be the droid we're looking for. Maybe I just want 4 Ceratops in my sideboard so I can be aggressive in this matchup to not die. Because, like, boarding an Unmoored Ego in this matchup does not seem like a winning plan. But boarding in a bunch of Ceratops that can, like, run down their Planeswalkers and pressure their health total does not seem completely unreasonable. Not getting Dino back? Nah. Why do I want to put Ceratops back on top? They're at 6. So, like, I'm killing them over 2 turns anyways, so I might as well get the thing that gets me more value when they have another removal spell here. So if I'm not killing them next turn anyways, can anybody make a reasonable argument why I should be doing that? Because I can't find one.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Give me reasons. I guess it turns Command the Dread Horde fully off. Yeah, they're low enough that it blanks, like, exactly Teferi's down tick, which, to be fair, my Cavalier of Thorns is about to get Teferi down tick, but, like, if they Teferi down tick my Cavalier, I'm pretty okay with that exchange. We do have full art basics, dude. And they are glorious. As you will. Nope, the name Field of the Dead. That's fine. We already have one field in play.
Might be a bad idea.
Sorry.
I'm known for my excellent
I
timing.
think I might have solved the Deckmaster issue.
I'll protect you.
Those who cannot perceive beyond put thoughtfulness before action.
Alright, so... what do I want to do here? They have this cry, so I think I want to hold on to this land for now. Is it crazy to just smack them for 2? I think I want to take them. I think I want to hit Narset. Yeah, it might be okay to draw. If I draw, I can still Cavalier. I have to play the land to Cavalier, though. I'm going to Cavalier first, I think. Because if the Cavalier finds an untapped land, I can still Arc. Oh, yeah, and Narset means I can't draw this turn anyways, right? Yeah, so we just go Cavalier pass here, I think. Because I can draw on their turn, right? Now, there was some appeal to hitting them for 2, because hitting them for 2 reduces what they can get with Command the Dreadhorde, which is kind of appealing. Because this says 1 card per turn, so I can draw a card on their turn. I fixed it. Sweet. So I assume Cry is about to happen here. Because they plus Teferi. We might also see an instant speed Command the Dreadhorde. Oh, can they do both? Oh, that's unfortunate. And magic sucks because Teferi sucks. So I can't trophy this before it blocks because I'm playing Hearthstone at the moment because magic sucks and Hearthstone's better. Yeah, we don't get our Cav trigger because of Cry. That's exactly correct. Maybe, hopefully they're dead here. Hopefully they just like have a blank and we untap and kill them. I'm gonna hold on to these because I can't activate this anyways. And if they have another sweeper, I want zombies in the bank. Please be dead. All right, redraw number 1.
Sorry I'm late. Let's skip to the good part.
Do you have another sweeper?
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Yeah, so command the Dread Horde's not a worry here. It's explicitly like a Kaya's Wrath or a Cry here is what we're worried about. Would like to kill you. Yeah, so playing that game out through that long miserable slog makes me think I want a 4th Ceratops in my board because being able to pressure their health total to keep them off of commanding is important, it feels like. Whenever you win a game and you take a step back and you're like, man, what did I even just do there? And you're just like, ugh. Especially if they're gonna be egoing our fields aggressively. Like we won the game, but that's because we had field down aggressively. So getting field into play ASAP is gonna be a priority. Yeah, I'm on 3 Ceratops. Honestly, just jamming the full 4 might be correct. Hey, Brogsby, we did made it. Get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. I have a very important. I need help with this decision, chat. I drew this opening hand earlier with some cards I found in my office. I need your opinions. What do you think? What do you think? Do we keep or do we mulligan? You're on the draw game 1. What do you think? Snap it off? I think it's probably fine. I think it's probably fine. But I don't really like to mulligan, so maybe my opinion's not the most valid. Birds of Paradise at Heracross is fine. Yeah, exactly. So you get it. You get it. Why are you playing Mammal Virus Digimon in this meta, you idiot? Oh. Excellent. A+ response. The foil, the borderless basics turned out really well. We're gonna play some 100% borderless Black Red Aristocrats up next. Of which I am excited. Bob is the bringer of the aristocrats. Yep. I might have cut Footlight Fiend partially because I want to test something else, but also partially because it doesn't come in foil. Let's just say it's a little bit of both. Yeah, I agree. Footlight Fiends has gotten worse in a setting where we don't have Judith. We have foil temples, Maris. They put foil temples in the last update, so we have those as well. Yeah, having more bodies for what's it called is real good. Yeah, I agree, Marty. I think I just wanted to be mana efficient there more than anything, is what it came down to. Think being mana efficient there was ideal. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. Things are spiraling out of control. Ooh, getting Field of the Dead into play is pretty important here.
You show remorse, I'll show restraint.
May I have another Risen Reef trigger, please?
Here we go.
Yeah, Black Red Aristocrats is the Black Red Cats is Aristocrats. I ran out of characters in my stream title because I'm planning to do a long stream today. Don't have a Doomblade. 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 Don't do it. Have a heart. Oh no. I should have attacked first probably, huh? Alright, so do I wanna I think I wanna just trophy Tef here. I think I wanna just trophy Tef since they haven't drawn a card. Played this deck yesterday, and I missed double triggers on my Rejuvenator with Yarok. God, that's incredibly unlikely. When am I streaming until? I'm planning to go till at least 6 o'clock or so. If our viewer count ends up being good after the Mythic Championship is done, I'm gonna go later than that. So, we're currently in a position where if they rip a Dreadhorde, we're gonna be in a little bit of trouble. Oh, crap. I already had a Hinterland Harbor. That's a pretty big mistake. Yikes. Alright, so I missed 2 zombies. I already had a Hinterland Harbor. They're little and I have a short memory. Ed Bingo, thanks for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yep, 10 out of 10. If I'd have taken the Woodland Cemetery there, we'd have a little bit more power in play. Hashtag didn't matter. Hashtag always lucky. I think I want Cavalier of Thorns here, because it gets another Cavalier. Maybe it could be right to take Ceratops just to pressure their health total, though. But this digs me to a Field of Rune, which is nice. And if I hit an untapped land with this, I can also activate my Memorial this turn, which is great. So do I want the extra Field of Dead? Or do I want to crack this turn? What's more important? The extra field's probably more important in this matchup, right? Nah, they're going to be able to flip the search here. They have 8 cards in their bin. If they weren't ready to flip this on command, I'd grab the Blast Zone. But they can flip this whenever they want. So I think I just want more zombies here. Hitting them for a chunk of damage here before they can Dreadhorde is like pretty important. Because they're still at 22 here. So if they hit Dreadhorde while they're at 22, we're probably dead. Yeah, I think I need to pressure their life total here. Now they do have enough mana here to activate this and cast Kaya's Wrath, which is a little unfortunate. But like if that happens, I just get to like put another thing on top of my deck. So we can get probably Risen Reef going. Maybe Yarok again. How many lands do I have? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have enough mana to cast Yarok and activate this, which means I probably draw lands. Yeah, I think I actually want to get Yarok back here, huh? I think it's just Yarok. Because if I do this, I still have 5. So yeah, let's do this. And then any lands I find make 4 Zomboys and Girls at this point. So this will make 4, because I have Field of the Dead, X2, and then Yarok. So like they're basically at a point where like they need to sweep the board every turn or find Command the Dreadhorde to put a bunch of stuff into play. Yeah, now we're drawing an extra card every turn too with the Arc. So we're on the clench our butt cheeks and hope they don't find a Command the Dreadhorde, basically. Kaya's Wrath is a little annoying, but if we get even just one attack in here, Command the Dreadhorde is no longer scary. Field of Ruin would be a great find here. I'm gonna take the Field of Ruin over the third Field of the Dead, because Field of Ruin lets me end this man's whole career. Just get him out of here. I don't have a basic left in my deck. That's sad, but it's fine. Unfortunately, I can't activate Arc this turn. My Forest must be in my discard pile from Cavalier trigger. Yep. Sure. Like I said, just even one big hit here makes their Command the Dreadhordes that much worse. So getting in a hit would just be very powerful. Are they out of Wraths? That's 3, 4. They are guaranteed out of Kaya's Wraths. You get to hit them for 11 down to 14. And then 14 life is probably a point where whatever they're getting back with Command the Dreadhorde becomes manageable for us. Like I said, I do think we ran a little bit bad the last matchup. I don't know if this matchup's as good as I thought it was, but it's a bit of a slog for sure. I think 4th Ceratops in the 75 is probably a smart addition, seeing how this matchup plays out. Good golly. I think I just take Ceratops, huh? I guess, nah, I'm gonna take Risen Reef. I can go Reef into Reef. I don't know, I've got 10 power in play. Now the problem here is, with them taking only 6 on this attack, it means if they find a Command the Dreadhorde this turn, we could potentially eat it still, because they're gonna get back a lot of life worth of stuff. Is this an untapped land? Is this an untapped land? That's how our life works. Is this an untapped land? If this isn't an untapped land or a cry, next turn they're going to take enough damage that this hopefully doesn't matter. All right. Yeah, I think I want an extra Angry Dino. Yeah, they probably should have kept the Drowned Catacomb on top of their deck. I think they messed that up. Feel like I'm cheating on my deck in the queue, but can I have these go to Elemental Coco because that deck was sweet? Definitely would win. I appreciate the support as always. Happy Friday. Let's throw one more dino in the board here. What do I want to cut? And we'll play one more with this before we go on to Black Red Aristocrats. What do I want to cut? I feel like it's a Drake or a Noxious Grasp. Do we think we need 3 Noxious Grasps? I feel like I don't need 3 of those against Esper. Do I think I need 3 Noxious Grasp against, like, Dinos? I don't know. I want to play the mono red matchup more before I cut this card. This card's also good against Feather. I guess this card's good against Feather too, though. Yeah, maybe it is just Drake. You play 4, just play 4 Drakes, Doc Bruff. I'm going to leave the extra grass for now. I could see going 2 and 2 and this being correct, though. Graph's a pretty powerful card. Yeah, I don't know if I really care about the Phoenix matchup at the moment. That deck hasn't been super popular. How late am I going today? I'm going to be live for a minimum of another 4.5 hours. And if the viewer count looks good after the Mythic Championship is done, I'm going to run later than that. It's going to be our last match before we pivot to Black Red Aristocrats. 100% fully foil pay to win Black Red Aristocrats. That Teferi clock's depressing. It is a little bit depressing. We've not cast Tamiyo yet. Ugh. It does say cats. It does say cats. 100% of my matchups have at least one Phoenix player. That's true, actually. We did cast it and pick something up, and then it died in one of the games. That's very true. Have a good one, Doc Prof. Black, Red Cats, the musical. Yeah, exactly. It should technically be Red, Black, right? We've been sitting in the queue for a minute and a half. Did it time out? Should I relog? Oop. Alright, enjoy a quick commercial while I restart Arena.
Don't make your life garbage time. Join us in Hoaglandia today by subscribing to Jeff Hoagland with Twitch Time today.
So, generally speaking, the way that's descriptive, and maybe enough people don't realize it, so it's not even really that helpful or descriptive, but when I have 2 color decks, the letter I put first is the dominant color in the deck. So calling it Red-Black Aristocrats is more descriptive because there's more red cards. It's a base red deck with a secondary black as a color. So, Red-Black Aristocrats is more descriptive because it's a red deck first and a black deck second. There's like 9 mountains and only 6 swamps, and we're playing red cards on 3. So from its descriptive perspective, I think having the red first is valuable. Grall's best tools against Scapeshift, enjoying your commentary. Thanks for the quarter of your support, Crazy Chimp. I appreciate you sending your Twitch Prime back this way again. Grall's best tools against Scapeshift are probably Blood Sun and the 3 mana deal 2 to all creatures, instant for whatever it's worth. Flame Sweep, yeah, that's the one. Flame Sweep and Blood Sun. Not Esper, God bless. It's almost like Bridge from Below wasn't the problem, and as long as Faithless Looting exists in Modern, there's always going to be another busted deck to take advantage of Scapeshift. Almost. Or, sorry, take advantage of Faithless Looting. It's almost like there's always going to be another... This Tamiyo is about to punch the clock and do some work here, huh? Who's pumped for this Tamiyo? I'm pumped for this Tamiyo. What are we looking for here? How do we feel about Risen Reef? I feel like it's Risen Reef. Risen Reef lets me hold up trophy next turn. Just an important message here. I actually don't have triple green to cast Cavalier currently.
The past is never forgotten.
Hey, Cruz. Thank you for the 7 months support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. I mean, I just don't know that Command the Dreadhorde is that big of a problem, Ozzy Pants. I feel like taking that one match where we got dumpstered by Command the Dreadhorde and concluding that we need a bunch of graveyard hate for Command the Dreadhorde is kind of like being a little bit reactionary and reactive. So this does give them another land tier, which means if they have another Reclamation, they can cast it this turn. That being said, I have this Field of Ruin to check their search for Azcanta, and I have another trophy for the next Wilderness Reclamation, so it actually feels like we're in a pretty good spot. I elected to trophy them during their main phase because I didn't want them to get to end of turn and be able to trigger this this Reclamation. Unfortunately, it means here that they get to play this Tamiyo, which kind of sucks. And pick their Reclamation back up immediately, because that's how this goes. This card was such a miserable addition to the opponent's archetype. So, like, do I kill Reclamation? Do I kill Tamiyo? I feel like I'm pretty obligated to kill Tamiyo, right? I'm going to start with this and see where we go from there. And I think I want to plus her this turn. What do I want to draw with her this turn? There's only one more trophy in my deck. There's 2 Cavaliers. Is it just Yarok? I guess I could dig for more interaction, but like most of my interactions in my bin, right? I don't have any other 4-ofs that are interaction. So it's probably just Yarok. So I can get some pressure going with this Field of the Dead.
Let me aid your research.
And now, like, I think I give them... Do I just give them 1+ on this and plan to attack it? However, that plan goes sideways in the event that, like, my opponent has Fog, which they likely have copies of Fog in their deck, right? So there's a chance I don't get another turn here, but I think it's correct to kill their Tamiyo. I guess this cheeky attack is technically bad, because if they play Nissa, I want it as a blocker. Yep. Now, they don't currently have a sustained source of card advantage, but playing this other search out proactively implies to me that they're going to start taking turns here, hoping to go off. So this is at 5 cards in their bin, so they need to put 2 more cards in their bin here. So this is like Growth Spiral or an Opt. They get to flip this next turn, and then there's a good chance we don't get another turn from there. I feel like especially post-board with 4 trophies and 4 Unmorty goes, we probably have an okay time here, Marty. Game 1 could go either way. Yep, and now they hit another taking turn card, so they get to flip their Azcanta guaranteed next turn, and they get 2 Azcanta activations per turn, which is a big deal. Do we also bring in Noxious Grasp? Yeah, probably. Killing Tamiyo is pretty important. And, like, we have Grazers. We're cutting Grazers and Disfigures. Yeah, I mean, any taking turns deck is generally more interesting than the Nexus of Fate decks, because normally you have to, like, really work for your infinite turns, whereas Nexus of Fate makes taking infinite turns alongside Search for Azcanta like a pretty trivial exercise. All right, they have double Reclamation plus a Search for Azcanta here, so if they take another turn at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and concede. We're not guaranteed to die, but we're probabilistically going to die, which again is the miserable part of the standard format and playing with Nexus, is that you have to give up competitive percentage points and not just sit in your chair and, like, wait to die. So if I was playing in a tournament here, I wouldn't concede there, but we're not playing in a tournament. This person's just wasting our time while we play online. So I'd prefer to get to it. Is cutting Yarok crazy here? I feel like cutting, maybe I don't want all three of these, like bring in 2 and trim a Yarok. How do we like this? I think I like it. Does this seem reasonable? I think I like it. I want to keep some Yaroks because our priority is going to be on Unmoored Egoing their Nexus of Fates. Because if we take their Nexus of Fates away, our fair game plan is certainly better than their fair game plan. I mean, that's probably good against really bad Nexus of Fate players, Nano Flare, or Nexus of Fate players who have built their decks really poorly. But good Nexus of Fate players are almost never going to lose to Chandra Awakened Inferno's Emblem if that's your only source of pressure. Because good Nexus of Fate players post-board are going to diversify their threats to include cards like Nissa, which kill you much faster than a Chandra Emblem kills them. Iceman, thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. What should I cut for Ceratops? What card in my current deck do you think is worse than Ceratops? Why is that something I want to be doing? Because remember, once we ego them, we still need to beat them in a fair game of Magic. And Yarok is how we beat them in a fair game of Magic. Hey, thanks for the 27 months, Zentoth. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Oh, the mana base in this deck sometimes. How many blue sources do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, I'm going to mulligan. Magic's an incredibly interesting game where you get to make a lot of meaningful decisions, and the better player always wins. I'm excited to bottom this and never draw a 3rd land in our 29 land deck. I'm excited to bottom that and then never draw a 3rd land in our 29 land deck. That's magic. Do do be do 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 be do 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 be do 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 do. All right, listen. It's a Temple of Tilt, but that's way better than missing a land drop here, so I'll take it. Okay. Listen, that's way better than missing a land drop. In. Snap it off. Snap off the temple right there every time.
I train every day. No one is more prepared than me. Keep an open mind.
There's that. Nissa that we talked about, likely being their post-board game plan, making things like Chandra worse. Wow, still no blue source, huh? We cannot trophy our own lands. It's not a legal play. Yeah, any untapped land here is very reasonable for us. Okie doke.
My mind needs a rest.
Golgari Field of the Dead coming along here. Got 4 different green-black duels in play, and none of them are doubled. I'm going to trophy in response here, because once they untap this, they're going to be able to cast a negate, because this makes green-blue with Nissa out.
The land shall conquer you.
So, the land destruction deck from last season whether or not it's good isn't dependent on how many non-basics are being played. It's dependent on how many basic lands are being played alongside those basics. So the reason that deck was not even good, but just, God, good lord, but kind of okay, was because people were playing 1 and 0 basic lands. But like, even my deck right now has 3 basic lands in it. So I think like trying to assassin trophy people's lands is probably not a very good spot to be. Can we hyper geo our failure rate right now? Yeah, probably. So we had 6 lands. So there were 23 lands and 49 cards in our deck there. So what's the hyper geo today on how unlucky are we? 23 hits and 49 cards. We were looking at 5. We were 96.5% to hit a land on that Cavalier of Thorns. For people wondering, we were almost 97% to hit there. All right, there's a copy of Ego. Hey, DMS, thank you for the 19 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Thoughts on Hogok being 21% of the Mythic Championship? It's weird, and by weird, I mean I'm being sarcastic, how every time you have all the good players get together and play Modern, there's less bad decks in the room. It's weird how that works. It's weird how it's almost like some of Modern's diversity comes from the fact that people are pot committed to their pet decks and aren't actually trying to win a lot of the time. It's almost like that's the case. Fuzzy Jello, thank you for the half a year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. You're having a good one wherever you are. Negate me, Poppy. Negate me. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Feeling pretty dead, man. Feeling pretty dead, man.
Let us have a storied battle worth retelling.
Nexus of Fate.
I think you will find my notes helpful.
All right. Today made me feel like so far is making me feel like part of my enjoyment of this deck was due in large part to the fact that we had been pretty low in the percentages in Mythic, and a lot of the other decks we were playing against weren't particularly good. And while I think this deck is probably still fine, I think your matches against Esper and Nexus are closer than like the decks that were good. I think we're genuinely good against the Bantscape Shift deck, which was running around everywhere after that last Mythic Championship. But I also think the Bantscape Shift decks probably aren't super amazing overall, and as they fall out of popularity, this deck's gonna get a bit worse because your Esper matchup feels pretty close, and your Nexus matchup you're probably behind in. I also think part of the fun of playing this format was we were kind of playing bad brews against other bad brews, and when you get back into like hammering into like Esper and Nexus being every other matchup, this format's probably going to get pretty tedious pretty quick again. If a lot more to play today, we'll see if that pattern continues, but so far 3 of our 4 matches have been against Esper and Nexus of Fate. All right, let's play some Aristocrats. This deck is at least good against Nexus. This deck runs Nexus down, which is nice. This list was actually a cut scholar, so if you want to cut this in, if you want this to be played after Aristocrats, that's fine. I would be more than fine with that, but Aristocrats was also a cut.